Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dayspring Discussions. This is the show where we talk about movies, TV, comic books, sci-fi, fantasy. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I am your host, Sean McGahee, and Happy New Year, everyone. This is our first episode of 2016. With me here is the lovely and talented Miss Lisa Locke McGahee. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you doing so far in the new year?
Well, I'm sick. So
Yes, she got what I had last week, I think.
yeah, at least I have a voice now.
Yeah, before you couldn't even say a word. It was kind of quiet around here for a little while.
Yeah.
But anyway. But, like I said, this is the first show of 2016. So we do have a few news items we're going to run down. But first, I want to run down some lists, so to speak. Last year we had some great movies in the comic book, sci-fi, fantasy genre. And also some really good TV. Not to mention some really good stuff coming out this year as well. So I went down and kind of did a top 5 list of kind of my favorite movies that I liked last year, ones I'm looking forward to this year, as well as some TV shows that I really enjoyed as well. Lisa, did you get to do your movie list at least?
I did.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll run down my TV list first, actually. I didn't ask you to do this because
I don't watch enough TV.
You don't watch enough TV, exactly. But some of the ones that I have on the list, you actually watch as well. So you can at least have some input into that. So starting off, my number 5 TV show of 2015 was Agent Carter.
Oh, I did like Agent Carter.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really nice. I mean, Agent Carter, of all the Marvel love interest, I guess you could say, she was my favorite because she's
badass.
Yeah, she wasn't just that damsel in distress. I mean, Pepper Potts is cool, and Jane Foster is whatever, but, Agent Carter can kick ass with the boys. She was right there along with it, and I liked how they, developed her character in this one. She was a woman in, the man's world trying to get ahead. She had to do everything in secret, and she was trying to help Howard Stark clear his name in this first season. And then I liked how everyone was after Howard Stark's inventions, but then it came around at the end there, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this already, was they were trying to get Captain America's blood, which I thought was really cool because in the movie, the first Avenger, you see right after Steve got bulked up, they took his blood, and I'm assuming that was where the blood came from, was when they first did all those samples as well. But I really liked the show. I thought it wasn't your typical superhero show, but it had a lot of good stuff. Another reason I really liked it too was they kind of showed the Black Widow character. They showed that Black Widow isn't just Scarlett Johansson's character in the Marvel movies. It's more like a title that's passed down through these Russian assassins and stuff like that. So we got to see one of the first Black Widows. The cast was really great. Of course, Haley Atwell as Agent Carter was phenomenal. The guy, I forget the name, who played Jarvis, but he was really good too. Plus, you had some of the agent guys that were coming in as well.
Mr. One Tree Hill.
Mr. Chad McMurray, yes. Now, let me give it to this way. So we know that Agent Carter went on afterwards and got married and had kids and all that stuff. And I feel like the whole season, I was looking at her coworkers trying to figure out who's going to be the future Mr. Carter. Did you get any of that sense at all?
Oh yeah. I know. I think they didn't necessarily give anything away. I think that there are several people that could be a potential of interest.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they bring in someone new.
Are they going to make more?
Yeah, season 2's coming out in next week or the week after.
I didn't know they had decided to do more. I kind of thought it was like a mini series. Yeah, it was like kind of a one and done.
Well, I think originally they thought it was going to be just a mini series, but I think they got such a good response from it, they're going to continue it. So like last year, they did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the fall, and then now in the winter here, the second half of the TV season, they're going to do Agent Carter instead.
Okay, good.
So that'll be cool to come back and see that. I guess this time she's going to LA, to Hollywood, to do some investigating or whatever. So that'll be cool. I'm interested to see where they go with the character and what's coming up next for that. Especially since Haley Atwell, she's been popping up in the Marvel movies. Like she was in the beginning of Ant-Man as well, too. And her character, starts S.H.I.E.L.D. So I want to see more of that maybe in this show as well, which I think would be cool. But
yeah.
So looking forward to that one. Next one is one you haven't seen yet. It's Marvel's Jessica Jones. Really great show. Marvel started off their Netflix series with Daredevil, which was pretty good. It was very different from the films, and even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was very much darker, very much more adult. It had its flaws, though, I think. And then there was Jessica Jones, which, out of all the Netflix series, that was the one I was looking forward to the least. But so far, I liked it better than Daredevil because it had more of that harder edge. The acting was better. The story was better. Overall, it just kind of took it to that next level that Daredevil didn't go. So, I can't believe it, but, I think I'm probably, unless Iron Fist turns out to be really good, it'll probably end up being my favorite Netflix Marvel series. But the character is really great. She's such a flawed character as well. Christian Ritter, I didn't think she was going to be able to do as much with it, just because I know her from her comedy roles. So taking on this dramatic, kind of troubled hero role was different. And then, of course, you had David Tennant as the villain, Kilgrave, which did a phenomenal job. But
it's because he's an amazing actor.
I mean, do you want to check out the show at all? Are you looking forward to it?
No, I haven't. I don't. Not because I don't think it's good. I just, you know me. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to get invested in TV. So I have a handful of shows that I watch on occasion, and when I do, I binge watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch for 2 or 3 months, and then I go through and catch up and watch. When I have a day, I watch a bunch. But I don't have time to do that very often. So TV's just not. That's my least important.
Okay, all right. We'll move on to the next one. A show that you have been watching on a weekly basis with me, Star Wars Rebels.
Yes.
As my number 3. Great show. I think what really was this first season was the finale. I mean, I watched the first season and I was like, okay, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It feels like Star Wars. But that season 1 finale, I think when everyone was like, whoa, this is Star Wars, this is awesome. And then they followed that up with the season 2 premiere, The Siege of Lothal, my favorite episode so far, where Darth Vader shows up and literally kicks the crap out of the crew of the Ghost. Great show, really feels like Star Wars. It's really a family show. Like our friend Griffey, he grabs his little boy and sits down and watches Star Wars Rebels with him. It's a cartoon. I've tried to get Nora to watch a little bit.
I think she might now, because this week we found on the Star Wars XD the Droid Tales, which is like a Lego.
Yeah. But
it's basically 3PO and R2D2. But 3PO is basically telling the Star Wars stories.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and so Nora's been watching that.
Okay. Well, maybe let's try Rebels. I don't know. I mean, Rebels, it's for, older kids too, so...
Yeah, this droid one is designed, I think, more for kids her age.
Exactly.
But she's been watching it, and they talk about... in the first episode that we watched, I think we didn't start at the beginning. She just picked one randomly. And in that one, 3PO was talking about his interaction with the people on the Ghost.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Ezra and Kara, and they were
cool.
on it. So
That's interesting.
In Lego form, it was really cute.
That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I know they were talking about like the original 6 saga films, but they actually went to the Rebels. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Rebels, great show. I highly recommend anyone who likes it for Star Wars. It's really awesome. Number 2 on my list, as far as my favorite sci-fi fantasy shows, 2015, The Flash. Another show that Lisa is way behind on.
I do like it, though. I just...
Don't have the time. We know, of course. It's a great show. It's really... Grant Gustin as Barry Allen really holds the show together, I think, too. Plays a great leading guy. Like you said one of the reasons you like the show is Grant Gustin.
I really like him a lot. I think he's a very likable character. He's very charismatic. I think one of the reasons I never really got behind Arrow... I mean, I love Stephen Amell. He's... sexy, but the character is he's not very likable. I mean, he has moments where he's likable, but I felt like from the Flash from the very first second, because of his humor and just the way that he interacts with people around him, how you can kind of see the way he cares about the people. I was immediately very intrigued by him, and I like that character.
Yeah, definitely. And the cast is great. Cisco, probably one of the funniest characters on TV right now. Really great. And I like how they're really trying to stick to a lot of the Flash lore, as well as the Reverse Flash and all that. And then the mid-season finale this year, they introduced Wally West. So I'm interested to see where they go with that character, because in the comics, Wally West, it becomes the second Flash. I don't see them doing that anytime soon, but it's definitely an angle that I can see going later on as well, because the show is called The Flash. So say if Wally West becomes The Flash, guess what? You don't need Barry Allen to be in the show anymore. They could trade off if needs be. I don't think they'll do that, of course, but it's just definitely an option when you have a show called The Flash, and there have been multiple people in the comic series that have taken the title of The Flash. But I don't see, Grant Gustin going anywhere because he does such a great job with it. Great show. The writing's good. It's a little cheesy, of course, does have that Smallville feel to it, like you said. But it's a good story and good characters. So, with that.
Yeah.
My number one show, 2015, in the sci-fi fantasy genre. One you don't watch, one you hate to see whenever I go.
You.
Game of Thrones. Probably going to end up being one of my top favorite shows of all time. The season 5 finale was phenomenal. It left me heartbroken and devastated and wondering if I could even watch the show anymore. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Just a well put together program is what it is. It's great storytelling. There was a news story of today I was going to talk about how George R.R. Martin, the writer of the books, he's been trying to get the next book out fast. Like he had a deadline of end of October that he missed. He had another deadline at the end of the year that he missed. So he's told the fans that, hey, the new season is going to show stuff that I haven't published yet. So now all those people that are like, oh, I've read the books, I know what happens. Guess what? Nobody knows what happens anymore. And now they can wipe that little smug grin off their faces. But with the show as well, too, they've deviated from the books as well, too, to where Martin was saying, hey, it's not going to make that big of a deal because of the fact that the show's kind of taken a sidestep from what the books really is, so it's not too much a big a deal. But great show. If you're not watching Game of Thrones, I highly recommend it. Lisa will not watch one scene of it because she doesn't like that cool, awesome stuff.
It's too violent for me. I just can't handle that. It's not that just that show. It's any movie. It's that time period. I just don't.
Yeah, you're not. See, and that's the thing because I really love that time period as far as the sword and sandal stuff.
It's too violent for me.
I don't know, but I love it. All right, so moving on, we're to go to our top 5 sci-fi fantasy comic book movies of 2015. Do you want to read your 5, or do you want to go? I'll do 5. You do number 5. I'll do 4. You do 4. We'll do that, okay?
Yeah, but then if we have overlapping movies, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's okay.
Just read your 5, and I'll read my 5, and then we'll just talk about the movie.
Okay, so
I mean, they probably have. Well, you have 6 on yours.
No, that just goes 2 lines here.
Oh.
So number 5 I have on my list is the animated movie Justice League: Gods and Monsters. Number 4 I have the second Maze Runner film, Maze Runner: The Scorcher Trials. Number 3 Ex Machina. Number 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron. And number 1, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. What were you on your 5?
Okay, so my list is a little bit different, but it's largely because I don't see as many movies as you do.
True.
So, like when I looked through movies that have been released this year, of all of the ones that are really fit in the sci-fi fantasy comic book genre, I think I'd only seen like 7.
Well, one thing too, I was going through the list as well, and yeah, there was some that came out, but there wasn't a lot that I was just like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there were ones I thought were okay, but none that I was just like, oh yeah, that's really great.
Yeah. Well, they were literally in the list of the top 50. I think I'd only seen 7 of them.
Okay.
So it wasn't that hard for me to pick my top 5 because there were only 2 that I had seen that I didn't put in my 5. One of which was that horrible piece of crap with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis.
Oh, yeah, Jupiter Ascending.
Yes. And there was one other one that I had seen that didn't make my list. But anyway, so I guess based on the fact that I don't see very many movies, my top 5, number 5, I had The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. 4, Avengers: Age of Ultron. 3, Ant-Man. 2, Star Wars: Force Awakens, and 1, Jurassic World.
You really like Jurassic World.
I really liked Jurassic World.
I mean, it was good.
Just fun. I really enjoyed Jurassic World. And like I said, and I based my list on, like, movies. For me, it's repeat watchability.
Yeah.
That's what I could just sit down and, like, Jurassic World, I feel like, to me, is going to become one of those movies that I just put on, like, at bedtime. Mm-hmm. Because it's just very entertaining.
Movies, kind of like The Hobbit or Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or Sensibility. That's one of the ones that's like in my top 10 of all time. I just can put it on anytime and just kind of, it's just in the background and I like it a lot. I really, really enjoyed Jurassic World. It was fun. I'm not trying to say I think that was the best movie of the year.
Yeah, of course. But of the genre, that was the one you enjoyed the most.
That was the one I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, because like another one I thought you'd like, the Ex Machina. Great film. It was a very small film. Not
that was like a thriller though, kind of.
Yeah, it was a thriller.
Right?
So basically, the premise of Dominic Gleeson, the actor. Domino? Is it Domino?
Yes, I think it's actually pronounced like something weird, but it looks like Dom Hall, but that's not how you say it.
Anyway, so his character works for this large company, and he wins a prize where he gets to go visit the CEO out in his like secluded mansion facility. And this character is kind of like a Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, like super genius or whatever. And he goes there and he finds out that the character played by Oscar Isaac has built artificial intelligence. Built a female-looking robot played by Alexandra Vinkater, I think is her last name. It's the girl from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and she was also in the Danish Girl as well. But anyway, so it's really, like I said, it's just those three actors. Like, the whole movie is those three actors. And it's him interacting with her and Oscar Isaac kind of studying them, seeing how the robot interacts with him, but also we come to find out that he's trying to test Gleason's character as well about is he falling in love with this artificial intelligence and stuff like that, and that he really doesn't trust Oscar Isaac's character because he's kind of sinister, mad scientist, whatever. But it's a really small film, but it's really just some great performances, great story to go along with that. Another one is the Justice League Gods and Monsters. Bruce Timm, the guy who did the Batman animated series, Justice League animated series, Superman animated series, kind of his return to the DC world. And it's Justice League, it's a slated one where you have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but it's not the ones we know. Like Superman, for instance, is actually an offspring of Zod that landed in Central America or in Mexico, I believe. So he's a Mexican Superman, so to speak, grew up as an immigrant as well. And then Batman is a scientist who actually gave himself powers of the bat, where he's almost like a vampire, so to speak. Like there's a scene in the short that introduces the movie where he's hunting down Harley Quinn, and after he captures her, he bleeds her dry, like a vampire and stuff like that. So really fascinating, really cool story character, kind of an Elseworld story, which was great. Maze Runner, I think you should check that out. I think you would like that. The second film, I saw the first one right before the second one came out, and I enjoyed it more than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be just kind of another Hunger Games teen drama ripoff, but it's actually a pretty good story. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, you have Star Wars, which I think we talked enough about Star Wars last week.
Yeah, I don't think we need
And then Avengers Age of Ultron. People, I feel like, are down on Avengers Age of Ultron because they say it wasn't as good as the first Avengers.
Yeah, but how are you going to make one as good as the first? That's a high bar. I mean, the first one set a pretty high bar.
So New Year's Eve, I watched the first Avengers movie. And then the New Year's Day, I came back and I watched Avengers Age of Ultron. And yeah, it's not as good as the first Avengers movie, but it's still a good movie. It has its flaws somewhat, but it's still very entertaining as far as the action, the characters, the humor. Still a very nice film. Still, Joss Whedon did a great job with it.
I mean, I definitely think it, like people say, it's predictable. I definitely see the story holes that people see, but I still enjoyed it. However, which in my list that wasn't in yours was Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I liked Ant-Man much better than I liked Age of Ultron. I thought Ant-Man was a great movie.
And you, of course, you love Paul Rudd as well.
I do.
Too.
I love Paul Rudd.
That
but
kind of
I think what I liked about it too was because I loved the heist movie feel about it.
It was smaller.
Yeah, it wasn't this huge grand scale.
Save the world.
Right, it was the small little thing, and I love heist movies, like Ocean's 11, I love that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how I really enjoyed the film, and a lot of people gave the Michael Pena character a hard time. Like I heard a lot of criticism of him. I thought his character was hilarious
because you didn't expect that really, the way they did the lip reading and
stuff
like that.
I thought it was so clever.
Hilarious.
And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. I liked it. I liked it better than Age of Ultron. Although I liked Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. But for superhero movies for this past year, Ant-Man was my favorite.
I think Ant-Man. I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought it had a little too much humor. I think
I love the humor.
I like the blend of comedy and action together. It's a thin line. It's a thin mixture. You got to get it just right. And sometimes it just doesn't work for me. But I enjoyed Ant-Man. Are you looking forward to now the sequel for Ant-Man then? Because you didn't know Ant-Man at all before you watched the movie.
No, I didn't know anything. I am. I think because I really like the Evangeline Lilly character. And I think if she's going to have a bigger role in the next one too, if they do put her in the other costume or whatever.
She's going to be the Wasp.
Yeah, then I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
The one thing with the movie that fell flat for me was their kind of love story. I felt like it came out of nowhere at the end of the movie, really.
I definitely think they were hinting at it throughout.
They were hinting at it, but I don't think they fleshed it out enough.
No.
Not to the point where at the end of the movie, Hank Pym opens the door and they're kissing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay, well, I get they were going that direction, but I feel like they needed more to their love story, maybe. I guess, to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll I mean, I'm sure they'll give it more in that. But it's cool because now we have Paul Rudd as Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's going to show up in the upcoming Captain America Civil War, which will be really cool as well. So that will lead us to the final top 5 list that I made you do, which is the top 5 movies of the sci-fi, comic book, and fantasy genre we are looking forward to in 2016. Do you want to do? I'll let you read your list first.
Okay, my number 5 is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Mm-hmm. 4,
Shocked.
Captain America Civil War. Mm-hmm. 3, Deadpool. 2, X-Men Apocalypse. And 1, Rogue One Star Wars story.
Wow. I'm surprised at some of that order there. So, okay. So number 5, I have Deadpool. Number 3, I have Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice.
Okay, you skipped number 4.
Oh, well, my number 4 was Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to go with Star Wars story, Rogue One, then X-Men Apocalypse, and then Captain America Civil War. I loved Captain America The Winter Soldier. I thought it was my favorite comic book movie to date, as well as one of my favorite movies ever. Like, you talk about rewatchability. I could watch that movie just over and over again and just love it. So that's why I'm really looking forward to Civil War, because also Civil War is one of my favorite comic book storylines as well. So to blend those two together, I think it's going to be really awesome.
And I think the trailers look good. I'm cautious about it. Like, I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I'm not as excited as I have been for the other ones, just because I don't know how I feel about them fighting each other.
Well,
so I mean, I'm sure that it's going to be great, and I'm going to end up loving it. But just going into it, I just am kind of like,
that goes into your whole thing about you don't like the drama. As like, whenever I watch a TV show or watching TV shows or movies or whatever, and you have characters that you like and they're fighting or something,
I can't handle that.
Can't stand it. I remember you stopped watching Angel right in the middle of the series because you didn't like how Wesley was going.
Angel was being Wesley. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it anymore.
Yeah, but you can't handle that stuff. Me, I love that. I love it because it's such good character development. It's such good storyline to see these characters that you love in peril.
I don't like when friends fight.
Okay, but friends fight in real life.
Yeah, but I don't have to watch it.
But these are superheroes, so it's much cooler, you know?
It's also much worse. Like, in the trailer, there's that bit where, like, Tony's got, like, War Machine.
Yeah.
Like, if they kill War Machine, I'm going to be freaking pissed if, like, the Winter Soldier kills War Machine.
I don't think they're going to do that just because they wouldn't put a shocker like that in the trailer.
Anyway, I'm just saying, when regular people fight, words can hurt. Yeah. When superheroes can fight each other, like, really bad things can happen, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how. I mean, I think it's going to be good. I still have it in my top 5. I'm excited to see it. I just am worried that I'm going to be, like, super stressed out the whole time, and that I may not like how it ends.
Okay. I was surprised, too, that you have Deadpool on your list.
I think it looks really good.
My brother is a big Deadpool fan. I know Patrick's looking forward to it. I like the character, but I think he's overhyped, kind of like Wolverine. So I wasn't too excited about it, but
Ryan Reynolds makes me want to see this movie.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to make up for what they did with the character in X-Men Wolverine Origins, or whatever that movie was called. Let's all forget about it now. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, but then the trailers have what sold me, plus the marketing the marketing for this movie has been so good as far as... Did you ever see the video of where he dressed up as Deadpool?
No, I haven't watched any of those.
Yeah. He's Deadpool as a Halloween, and he goes around with a bunch of kids that are dressed like the X-Men, and he's like, commenting on their costumes and stuff like that. It's hilarious. Yeah. As well as all the other TV shows and like the cardboard stands they have in the theaters and all that. Just great marketing.
But, I mean, trailers alone, I think, have done... I mean, the trailer, the Red Band trailer is really good. Like, it makes me want to see this movie.
Yeah, and this thing cool is, it's a superhero movie that's rated R. A lot of people were saying this character, in the comic books especially, he is a very violent and vulgar character. So people were like, well, to do him justice, you have to do it R. And some were like, well, no, they're going to do PG-13 because it's a superhero movie. They want to get their big audience. But they're going R, and from the trailers, it looks like they're going R.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I think it's really going to be a testament, to just how well superhero movies like that can do as a rated R film. And I think if it does become successful, you're going to see a lot more of those more darker, violent characters, like, say, the Punisher or whatever, come out with a rated R or something like that. Yeah. That'd be cool. I'm also interested to see how they tie into the X-Men universe as well. Because it's a, kind of expanding...
Because there's some X-Men characters
in it. Colossus is in it.
Yeah,
there's in the new trailer as well.
Who's the other girl?
I forget what her name is, actually, but she's a pretty powerful character. But yeah, again, seeing other X-Men characters in there will be cool as well.
I mean, I like anything that's going to tie back into X-Men too, because I'm really looking forward to Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
I've really enjoyed the new X-Men. Like, I mean, I enjoyed the old one too. I don't have
I wasn't a huge fan of First Class, but of course,
I mean, I liked it all right.
Days of Future Past was
I love Days of Future Past.
Hands down great, and the fact that they got Bryan Singer coming back again. They got the great cast coming with. I
love all the stuff that's coming out now with James McAvoy with his shaved head or whatever. That picture you posted something on Facebook.
Yeah.
Where he's got his shaved head
the cast picture, that'd be cool. And then, of course, another Star Wars movie coming out next year. I'm not, of course, as excited about this as I was Episode 7.
I'm actually more excited about this because and I like when, it's kind of like, okay, so like when we watch Movie Talk and stuff, the Collider Movie Talk, and John always talks about how we should move forward. Like, why we keep going back, going back. I really like when they go back and tell more of the backstories. I enjoy backstories. I like knowing where characters come from and what got them to the point. So, like, I am really excited. It's like when we watch Rebels.
Yeah.
I'm not as excited about where it's going. I want to know where it came from. I want to know Kanan's backstory more. I want to know where Ezra came from. I want to know, like, I like the backstories. And so I think with this one, because it's going to explain the death, the rebels stealing the Death Star plans, it'll probably be, mostly, all new characters or whatever, but it's telling a story that leads up to something we already know, and I like backstories.
And I guess your point with that, too, is, like, we know the rebels steal the Death Star plans, but to get, something so secretive and so big, there's got to be a good story in there, and I think that's what we're going to get with Rogue One. I'm very interested, too, to see how it's going to do, being that it's not like an episode film or a saga film. It's kind of a spin-off. It's kind of their first spin-off Lucasfilm is doing. So I'm curious to see how well it's going to do. I mean, from what the internet says, a lot of people are looking forward to it. I don't know if it's just because now people are really excited about Star Wars now because of Episode 7. But I'm just curious to see how well it does, given the fact that it's not going to be the continuation of Episode 7. It's going to be, like I said, a prequel, so to speak.
I'm excited for it.
That'd be cool. So, what else was on your list?
Oh, Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, of course, Harry Potter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really, that one, I'm not necessarily super excited based on the trailer or the casting. I just am, anything that takes me back
to Harry Potter,
into that world, I'm on board. Like, I mean, I have no idea what this movie's going to be about. I don't understand where they're going with it. But the fact that J.K. Rowling wrote it, and it's taking me into that world.
And David Yates, the guy who directed the last couple movies.
Yeah, so I don't care what they do with it. Like I said, anything that takes me into that world again. I mean, we went to Harry Potter World in Orlando.
She was giddy the whole time.
I want to move to Florida so I can go every day.
I can't tell you how much time we spent in Ollivander's wand shop just staring at wands for 3 days.
I love the world of Harry Potter, and anything that J.K. Rowling wants to write or make into movies or whatever that's going to take me back into that world, whether Harry Potter is in it or not. Like, I would love for her to go through and write some books that are when Harry's parents were at Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see that story.
I would love that story. You know, and future stuff. Like, let's follow Harry's kids. Let's follow Ron and Hermione's kids.
The next generation.
Yeah, let's look at the next. And even if there isn't this big Voldemort, evil. Anyway, I'm totally on a tangent.
There's always evil out there,
Yeah, there's always going to be bad people versus good people, whatever. But like I said, anything that takes me back into that world, I'm in.
Yeah, I got you. On that same respect, Batman v Superman, I'm not super excited for it just because I'm so hesitant of it. But I am looking forward to seeing the characters, seeing what they're going to do with it. Again, Zack Snyder, this last trailer, no. But
I'm not excited for it at all. I mean, I'll go see it, and it may be good.
I mean,
I have very low expectations.
Like
at this point.
I mean, it's Batman v Superman. Batman played by Ben Affleck, Superman played by Henry Cavill. Those two, I think, are going to be the best part of the film.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. The two of them acting. I'm just worried about everything else.
Everything else, yeah, exactly, is what I'm worried about.
The story worries me. The dark. I mean, you know how I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder stuff in general. I didn't like the tone of Man of Steel. I don't like
Watchmen.
I didn't hate Watchmen. I didn't love it.
Did you ever see 300?
No, I don't. That's the era.
Sword and Sandals,
it's the Sword and Sandals. I don't do Sword and Sandals.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like the dark tone suits this for Superman. Sure, Batman, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But it doesn't suit I don't know. Every time, the more that I see about it and hear about it, the less I am thinking it's going to be any good.
I gotcha. Well, so it is. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other movies coming out that I kind of wanted to put on the list too. But when I just the top 5, I'm looking
I had a few more that I was
it.
thinking about. Like, I almost put Ghostbusters in there.
Yeah, I had it on there too.
I had it in, then I took it out. And
thought about it. Suicide Squad, another DC movie.
Yeah, I know. That one, I'm torn I feel.
A dark tone fits that film.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Plus, it's got your
Will Smith
in it, of course. So I think he's going to go back to doing what Will Smith does best.
Yeah.
As far as, your whole I Am Legend working out thing that you live
You mean
in.
iRobot?
I Am Legend, he did that whole thing too where you were like drooling over him.
Oh, probably. I drool about him a lot.
Exactly. So he's not in your top 5 anymore though.
I know, he's getting old, but...
He's getting old, but maybe after you see Suicide Squad, maybe you'll put him back on your 5?
Maybe.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Alright guys, so that's our review of 2015, what we liked about it, and what we're looking forward to in 2016. So, in that respect, let's get on to the actual stories that came out this last week. And some of it we've already talked about, so I'll go to the one that we recently talked about. Was on Christmas Day, we got a new Deadpool trailer. Actually, 2 new Deadpool trailers, because one was a red band trailer and one was a green band trailer. And in it, of course, we see more of Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool, the character, getting more of a sense of the film and the tone. It's going to be directed by Tim Miller, who actually hasn't really directed any major feature films. He's done a couple of shorts, but this is his first directorial debut. His main thing that he's worked on, he was the visual director for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Kind of what he's known for. The film also stars Marina Baccarin. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I just call her Inara.
Yeah.
Inara from Firefly. TJ Miller, Gina Carano, and more. The film opens on February 12th, which I thought was kind of fitting because, like I said, my brother Patrick is a huge Deadpool fan, and February 11th is his birthday, so I pretty much know what he's going to be doing for his birthday.
It's a funny release date that would be releasing that movie for Valentine's Day.
But it's great because it's counter-programming. I think you're going to get a lot of, romantic comedies or whatever. Plus, there's no other superhero movies out around that age. Because Batman v Superman is still a month away. It's 2 months almost since Star Wars came out. So I think it's going to hit it. And especially, like I said, with the marketing, the way it's done, I think it's going to be really cool. Now, this new trailers that came out, I didn't see the Green Band trailer. I didn't see the last Green Band trailer because...
Why?
Yeah, what's the point? Given the tone they want to go for with this film, the Red Band trailer is what you should see because what you should expect from the film. You just saw the second trailer. What did you think of it?
I really like it. Like I already said, I'm excited for Deadpool. I think the trailer looks great. I think Ryan Reynolds is awesome. I think this character is made for this is made for him. I mean, this is a perfect role for him, and I'm excited for the film.
Cool. All right, so we can move on from there because we have a couple of things to talk about. Going back to, again, Ghostbusters comes out this next year. It's a totally new rendition of it, and they just come out with some new promo photos of the cast, which is going to be Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, and Melissa McCarthy. They each got their own individual posters of them kind of showing their shoulders with the Ghostbusters symbol on it. And Entertainment Weekly also came out with another picture of them strolling past an overturned fire truck and pulling out their ghost fighting gear out of their holsters too. The film also stars Chris Hemsworth, Andy Garcia, Michael K. Williams, as well as appearances by the original Ghostbusters cast members Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Sigourney Weaver. The film comes out July 15th. Did you see the photos, or what do you think of the film?
No, I didn't see the photos, but I am intrigued that the old cast is going to be popping back.
Yeah,
in.
I think they're just going to be
I hope
cameos.
that Rick Moranis does too. I don't think he's gonna, but
Rick Moranis. Everyone wants Rick Moranis to come back to Hollywood.
I know. I don't think.
But he left for personal reasons, which everyone understands. For that matter, I'm a little sad. Of course, Hill Ramis passed away, so he can't come back for this. I love Ghostbusters, and growing up in the 80s, Ghostbusters was one of my favorite cartoons. I had the Proton Pack, I had the toys, of course. I even liked there was an offshoot, the Filmation version of Ghostbusters, where it was like two guys, and it had like a giant gorilla as well, and it was much more fantasy. It felt like a Star Wars version almost of Ghostbusters, which was really weird and really out there. I should show it to you sometimes. You'll be like, what the hell is this? You'll think about that. So with this Ghostbusters, people have criticized it because it's an all-female cast. And of course, the cast like Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig have been firing back, trying to defend it. It's directed by Paul Feig, who directed Bridesmaids, Spy. He's known for his female comedies. So in that respect, I think it'll be good because Feig knows how to handle an all-female cast. I just don't like that it's got to be, it's one of those things, let's be PC for the sake of being PC and get an all-female cast. Why couldn't we have a couple guys in there? Why can't it be mixed? I know the original Ghostbusters was 4 guys, and they want to try to offset that by having 4 girls or something. Why not have 2 guys, 2 girls? Have, 3 girls, 1 guy, something like that. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I feel like that's what we're getting because they want to make a PC statement in this.
There's obviously men in the movie.
Yeah, they are, but they're not, the Ghostbusters.
Whatever.
Which I'm not saying that as sexist. I don't mind the girls, okay? I'm not judging that. I just think that if you really want to be true and fair, have a mixture. Don't just have all guys or all girls. Have a mixture.
I don't think it matters to be true and fair, blah, blah, blah. I think it's going to be great.
With that, I'm not sure because, Kristen Wiig, she's pretty funny. I like her. Mm-hmm. The other 2 members, Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon, they're SNL members. I haven't watched SNL in, forever. So I have no idea what they're like. Melissa McCarthy.
She's hit or miss.
She's good. She's played the same character so many times. Like, I don't even bother. Like, her last couple movies, I don't even try to watch or try to act like I'm going to watch because I know she's just playing the same character. Of St. Vincent, she played, a little bit of a more dramatic role, not the goofy character. If she tries to come off as not kind of that, I don't want to say dumb, but, the same character that she always plays. If she plays something different, I'm down for it. If she plays the same character that she's been doing since Bridesmaids, I'm not down with that. So, but I am looking forward to see how it goes. Allegedly, they're going to jumpstart a whole Ghostbusters franchise or cinematic universe. I'm not down with that, but whatever, I guess we can give it a go and see how it goes. Alright, so moving on, we're going to go to some more stuff by Entertainment Weekly because they did come out with photos and concept art for the upcoming Marvel movie Doctor Strange starring Benedict Cumberbatch. And Cumberbatch said about the film, there's all sorts of craziness in Doctor Strange. Falling, flying, jumping, fighting, punching, getting punched. It's really rough and tumble. And the director, Scott Derrickson, went on to say, I'm perpetually awestruck that I'm getting to make this movie. I keep waiting for the knock on the door when someone says, this movie's too weird. We can't make it. So some of the pictures they showed were, of course, Cumberbatch in his Doctor Strange gear. They also showed his lair or headquarters, the Sanctum Sanctorum, as well as some concept art of after Strange's accident, where he couldn't use his hands anymore, and that eventually drives him to study the mystic arts. The film also stars Rachel McAdams, Tilda Swinton, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Comes out November 4th, 2016. This was almost on my list as well of the top 5 movies I was looking forward to, but there were just too many other films I want to see coming out this next year. What do you think of Doctor Strange?
It has Benedict Cumberbatch, and he's amazing, so I'm in.
I mean, I know you're not too familiar with the characters.
No, I'm not familiar at all with the character, so I have no idea what this is going to be about.
Thankfully, I got that Marvel Encyclopedia book for Christmas, so now you can go through and look up some Doctor Strange, get better acquainted with the character. Did you see the photos in Entertainment Weekly?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Do you think he looks cool? Or?
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I mean, I love Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a great actor. And so I think if the fact that he took this role, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, with Doctor Strange, it's going to be different. I think just as Ant-Man was different from a lot of the other Marvel movies that have come out, Doctor Strange, I think, is going to be even more different because it's about the mystic arts and magic, and it's almost got kind of a dark take to it. The director, Scott Derrickson, he's known for doing horror films. He did Sinister, he did The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is one of the few horror movies I actually like, because I'm not a big horror fan guy. So I think it's going to be really different, and from what him and Benedict Cumberbatch are saying, it's going to be pretty far out there from what we're used to in a Marvel movie, but I think it's going to work. Marvel has taken risk after risk, and every time they've paid off, so I trust them that this one's going to pay off for them as well, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go see it.
Cool. So we're going to stick with the Marvel Universe then for the next one, because Kevin Feige talked to Empire Magazine as far as what's coming up in Phase 3 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In regards to Thor Ragnarok, he said, "I don't think people will read into that title alone regarding what the movie's going to be. It's going to be perhaps as totally different from the 2 prior Thor movies as Winter Soldier was from the first Captain America. We want to take it to new places. We've got new characters that will show how big we're swinging on this, and we've also got the Hulk. The film takes place within the cosmos, primarily, which to say frankly, very little Earth." Then going on to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and if we will see Thanos in this next film. Feige said, "I wouldn't look too hard in that movie for Thanos. However, the next time we see Thanos, quote, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's not going to be messing around. It's going to be, oh, that's the reason why they've been teasing the villain for 5 years." And then finally he talked about the Spider-Man reboot that comes out, saying that this film is going to be on a smaller scale and relative to some of the other Spider-Man movies or Marvel movies, because it's going to be about a 15-year-old kid who's going to high school and gets superpowers. It seems like they're really playing it up to be a teenage coming-of-age story just with superheroes. So Thor Ragnarok comes out on November 13th, 2017 with Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo. Spider-Man starring Tom Holland comes out July 28th, 2017. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes out May 5th, 2017. What do you think of this lineup coming out?
I don't really care about Spider-Man. I mean,
You've never been a big Spider-Man fan at all, really? I've never been a big Spider-Man fan. You didn't even see the recent movies at all?
No, I never really got... I mean, I like those with Tobey Maguire, okay. I never even saw them all. I think I only saw the first one, actually. Yeah. Part of the second. I don't know. I never really have gotten into Spider-Man. So I don't really care about that story at all. The Thor, obviously, I'm excited about.
You love your Thor.
I love Thor. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be different, that it's going to be out mostly in the cosmos.
I think so, too. I like that.
I'm excited that it's going to have Hulk in it. I really like...
I'm interested to see how they tie him into it all.
Yeah, and I wonder if Natalie Portman's going to have much of a presence then, if they're going to be not really...
I don't know. Earthbound. I mean, I think she's obviously going to be in the film because she's his love interest. Right. How much she's going to be in. I didn't like how they put her in this last one, how they had to tie her directly to the I guess what we know is an Infinity Stone, and how, her fate was tied to it, and how they tied her into that. I'm not a big fan of how they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I'll always give the Thor movies. I mean, The second Thor I didn't like nearly as well as the first one. The first
No,
Thor I
Thor,
thought was
the first
awesome.
one was great.
I love the first Thor.
I mean, I wouldn't even you wanted the second Thor movie. I wouldn't even have bought it if you didn't.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy I'm excited about. I really liked the first one. It was a pleasant surprise, and so I'll give the next one a.
I'm really interested. I mean, to see where they're going with it all, of course, because Phase 3. At the end of Phase 3 is going to be Avengers: Infinity War. That's when Thanos is going to show up and try to collect all the Infinity Gems. There's 6 of them altogether. We've seen 4 of them. There's 2 more still to show up between now and then, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure we're going to get one in Doctor Strange, I bet. Whether we see the other one before then, I don't know. I think we might see it in the first Infinity War movie. That might be the last one where they have to try to track down. But really, like I said, it's all leading to Infinity War, which I'm really excited for. Now, Feige and James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy, says we're not going to see the Guardians in Avengers Infinity War Part 1 or Part 2. To me, I don't see how you can keep them out of it, though. Because this is the culmination of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe here. You got a guy, Thanos, who's appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy as well as all the other Marvel movies. He's the big bad. They've been teasing him for 10 years now or something. I don't see how you can keep. I think you're going to have the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy team up, which I would love to see, but they said that's not going to happen. Do you think they're lying to us, or?
I don't know. I mean, that would be a lot of. Sorry, that would be a lot of people. A lot of big people on screen.
You don't have to have all of them in there. I mean, here's what I see it as. I think the first Infinity War film, because there's 2 parts. The first one I can see Thanos showing up, collecting all the gems, and kicking the crap out of everyone. One thing I'm afraid of is Vision, our new character that we got in Age of Ultron, has one of the Infinity Stones in his forehead. So I'm wondering when Thanos comes looking for that stone, is he gonna rip Vision in half or something? Is that gonna be the end of Vision? That'll be pretty interesting to see that. But yeah, I could see the Guardians coming into it in Part 2 when the first part Thanos comes, takes them all out, collects the stones, and then Infinity War Part 2. Not only the Avengers have to assemble, but also you have to get the Guardians of the Galaxy because Thanos I think is going to be that big of a threat. I can see every character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at least showing up in Infinity War Part 2 to take down Thanos, which would be massive. Like I said, this is the culmination of everything they've been working on. And I can totally see it just bringing in everybody to take down this baddie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's going to end up being like a Vision versus Thanos kind of thing. Because I don't think he's going to...
That's the other thing I did too. Okay, going back to Captain America Civil War, where you have Team Cap and Team Stark. Vision is on Team Stark's side. Vision is so powerful. I feel like Cap's team doesn't have a chance. Scarlet Witch, she is pretty powerful, but she's still young enough to where she hasn't unlocked her full potential yet. So I could see her and Vision going up against each other, but she is so inexperienced so far with her powers. I feel like Vision could just take her out and then take out the rest of Cap's team.
Is Vision going to be in Civil War?
Yeah, he's going to be in Civil War. Basically, the only 2 characters that aren't going to be the Avengers they've shown that aren't going to be in Civil War are Thor and Hulk, which, of course, they're going to be in the next Thor movie.
They're busy.
They're busy doing stuff off-world, so to speak. So Vision's such a powerful character. I can see him, being the real... Unless Cap finds a way to take him out, which I'm sure he will, it's going to be totally one-sided towards Stark's side in Civil War, but I'm sure they figured that out, how to do that. But in regards to Thanos, I can see Thanos just coming in, just destroying the Vision completely, which would be pretty traumatic, but, I think in this next Avengers film, or these next set of movies coming up, especially Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, you're going to see some characters die, honestly. And my money would be, number 1, on Tony Stark. I can see him biting the dust. He's a big character, probably the most famous character.
I think he gets paid more than any other guys.
He gets paid, exactly. And because of that, I can see him being like, okay, well, he started it all too. The first Iron Man movie started this Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's kind of been the centerpiece of it all. Although now some people can make an argument for Captain America too, which again is another reason why Civil War might be that much cooler, because of these 2 characters are the center of the cinematic universe. But I can see him biting it just to say the characters run his course and they don't want to pay Robert Downey Jr. the money anymore. I think what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, totally looking forward to Phase 3. Moving on, Empire Magazine also has released some new photos of the new Michael Fassbender film, Assassin's Creed. It's based off the blockbuster game franchise by Ubisoft and is directed by Justin Kreutzl. Now, these two actually just worked together in a interpretation of Macbeth that came out, which I'm hearing really good things about. I want to see that movie just to see how the two interact with each other and to get a better sense of what Assassin's Creed is going to be like. Now, the pictures we got, we see Fassbender's character, who is a 15th century swordsman, and his present-day descendant, Callum Lynch, in the film together. It's also revealed in the article that the movie's not going to be a direct adaptation of the video game, but really it's going to introduce new characters into that world, as well the character Lynch, who discovers that he's a descendant from the mysterious secret society called the Assassins, which Fassbender, of course, is from as well. Assassin's Creed is set to come out on December 21st, 2016. I'm not a big video game guy, but the Assassin's Creed games, whenever I see the previews for it or the commercials for it, has always intrigued me as far as the story on it. So I'm really interested to see this film.
I have zero interest.
Really? No, it's got Michael Fassbender.
I know. I like Michael Fassbender, and it'll probably.
I think when you see a trailer for it, you're going to be interested in it. It's just, I think it's really cool. They're taking like an assassin ninja spy story, but it's set in like colonial times as well, which is an interesting concept. Of course, kind of changing it up a little bit.
Michael Fassbender alone is not enough. I mean, I'm not one of those people that will go see a movie just because an actor I like is in it. If I don't think I'm going to like the movie, I don't care if it's my favorite actor of all time. I'm not going to go see the movie. I'm not one of those people that the actor brings me in. So there has to, if the trailers look good, then maybe I'll rethink. Right now, just because he's in it is not enough for me.
Cool. Yeah, I think once you see the trailer, I think it'll change your mind. That's really what'll do it, I think, for you. But looking forward to it. I think it looks interesting. Like I said, I'm not a big gamer, but the games have always intrigued me. I think it's going to be cool, especially with Fassbender leading the charge. It'll be really awesome. So, all right. So to finish it off, we're going to do my favorite part of the segment, which is let's talk some Star Wars. That's right. We are now living in a post-Force Awakens world. Okay, it's a brave new world here. Okay, everything's changed. The scope of Star Wars has changed. The scope of movies has changed as Star Wars is destroying every box office record. It just passed up Titanic as far as all-time domestic gross. It's on the heels of Avatar, where everyone thinks it's going to beat Avatar as being the biggest film of all time, which would be just super, I think. So that's awesome. And of course, we have Rogue One coming out next year. We have Episode 8 only a year and a half away, which I think a lot of people are saying yay to, because Episode 7 left with so many questions that I think people, if they had to wait 3 years for it, it'd drive me crazy. I think the internet would go crazy because just in a few weeks, there are so many theories and questions about Episode 7 and what it left off that I think if we had to wait too much longer, the internet would just be full of people going crazy over fan theories. But one thing we might be able to expect in Episode 8 is going to be Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. So in the book, The Art of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, the concept artist Ian McCaig says that Anakin Skywalker was actually an idea to be in the film as a Force ghost, but then it was taken out. Now, in this book, The Art of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, you can actually see the concept art of Anakin Skywalker in the film as well. Now, there have also been rumors in the last couple months that Hayden Christensen has been seen actually going to London, traveling and actually possibly working and being possibly in Episode 8. This has got a lot of people up in arms, of course, because a lot of people didn't like Hayden Christensen in the prequel films. He wasn't the best, but he wasn't the worst part of the film. I think if you get that actor and that character in the hands of a good director, I think it'll work out, especially as a Force Ghost. I would love to see not only him, but also Ewan McGregor come back as an Obi-Wan Force Ghost, that would be awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with Hayden Christensen coming back. I mean, I thought he was completely appropriate as Anakin. I've said it a million times. The Skywalkers are whiny bitches. So I think that Hayden Christensen was the perfect choice because he has that roll down pat.
He does indeed. But I think, like I said, a lot of people, he gets a lot of slack for taking, some of that prequel backlash.
Yeah, but
I think he doesn't deserve it.
No, I don't think so either. I think he was fine. The only thing is I wish if there had been a Force Ghost of him in The Force Awakens, if it would have come to Kylo Ren and been like, bitch, please, quit this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of warned him, be like,
yeah.
Grandson, you're crazy, I think if anything, you're going to see him talking to Luke, of course.
Yeah.
I think Luke has gone that, of course, that powerful where, of course, he can talk to the Force Ghosts as well. And that's something we saw him. He talked to Obi-Wan's Force Ghost in the original trilogy. So I can see him going back and talking to his father and Obi-Wan and even Yoda. How cool would it be if Yoda showed up, too?
That would be awesome.
That would be really awesome as well.
Nora would like that a lot.
Yoga.
No, it's Loda.
Loda. Is that what she's... Loda, yes. We're teaching her, okay? She's coming along. She knows Yoda.
Darth Vader.
She knows R2-D2 now. Mm-hmm. So she's coming along. Her education is slowly but surely going to be there. I think by the time episode 8 rolls around, she's going to be good. I don't think she's going to be ready for episode 8, though.
No, not yet.
She's still going to be too young. Plus the fact that I think episode 8 is going to be a darker film, like an Empire Strikes Back kind of feel to it. I wouldn't want her to see that. But, I think by that time she'll definitely be ready for episode 1. I'm sure she's going to end up loving Jar Jar, sadly.
I know.
Like most kids do. So, in that respect. But yeah, so there we go, kids. That's it. That's our episode. Anything else you want to talk about, Lisa?
I don't know. My brain's fuzzy. I'm sick.
Yeah, I got you. I know, right? It's hard because we talked about so much. I felt we talked about so much, starting off with the top 5 list and then going through what these few stories were that felt like went on for too long. But that's usually what happens. We talk too much. Or I talk too much.
I generally do too.
Of course. But yeah, there we go, guys. The first show of 2016. Let us know how we're doing. Hit us up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. I always love to hear feedback, even though I have heard none so far. You can always find me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, Slim, SLYM Dayspring 12 as well. And hopefully next week we will be back. Maybe Josh will come back. He was sick as well, which is why he's not here. We got a couple of cool stories coming up that came out yesterday that I'm looking forward to talking about next week too. So I'm looking forward to next week's show. If Josh is here, great. If Lisa comes back, well,
I'm always happy to be the backup plan.
Well, isn't it nice to know that you were my first choice in life?
Yes.
Come on. You got to buy that line. Buy that line. Come on. All right, guys, that's it for us. We will see you next time. Same bat channel.